Hello everybody, how are you guys today? Um, Welcome to another episode of the Akedika show, and I just want to apologize for the delay due to some technical difficulties, you know how it goes, but yeah, we're here and let's go. How has your week been? I genuinely cannot believe it's the the fourth Thursday of the month and the last Thursday of the month. Chad, January just drags for me. Like when we get to that last week, I'm just like, let's wrap it up now, please. Like, I don't know about anybody else, but I just feel the pressure of January. Like, it's the start of a new year. You have all these goals, you're inspired, you're motivated, and the weeks start and they begin. And when you're not seeing those targets, when you're not hitting them, you just start feeling a bit low and you start losing the motivation. But guys, if we can make it through January and everything else, then the rest of the year is going to be a piece of cake, okay? So yeah, I've had one of those weeks where I was just, I don't know, I felt like I was just learning about myself. Like I was just, every time I went online or saw something, it was just something telling me about my personality traits or my characteristic traits. Guys, I've not been card reading or nothing like that. I haven't been doing any of that. But this app, I did a personality test, yeah, and I found out I'm an advocate, which obviously, like, it makes sense, but I was just learning about myself. I genuinely didn't think this is the personality trait that best describes me. I'm just going to read the summary of my personality trait. You guys should definitely do this, like, but don't buy into the whole signing up, put in your email. You're just going to get non-stop emails. So if you do that, that's on you. It's not on me. I already warned you guys. But anyway, an advocate is someone with introverted, intuitive feeling and judgment personality traits. They tend to approach life with deep thoughtfulness and imagination. Their inner vision, personal values, and a quiet, principled version of humanization guide them in all things. But yeah, honestly, it was just very interesting. Very interesting to know because I really liked hearing that about myself. Oh, guys, we're getting a little I get to hear myself in the background. But yeah, no, this week has been really interesting. And when I tell you guys, some of the things I just read or see or hear, I genuinely don't even know what to say anymore. Like, I am going to be, let me just make this very clear. I'm going to be very, very picky and about the kind of discussions that I choose to get involved in. Don't think because I'm not talking about it or I'm not discussing it, I've not seen it. I genuinely just don't believe that whatever that is that's going on, I'm not going to put my time and attention into that, and I don't want to discuss it because I don't want to like internalize it as well. But yeah, I want to get into the stories that I saw this week. And yeah, I saw this one today actually, and obviously the war in Ukraine, that's one of the topics I'm not going to get into, but this is an angle that I do want to discuss, where Channel 4 have published a documentary or report, whatever you want to call it, about how the Ukrainian refugees are handling the cultural integration and ethnic diversity in the UK. Like, obviously the UK is very diverse. We know this. Depending on where you live, like here Birmingham, it's very multicultural place. Anywhere you choose to live, especially in the center of Birmingham, you're gonna be surrounded by all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds, right? And there's actually a video I want to share with you guys, so hear this out quickly before we get into it. It's coming up, yeah. Hold on, guys, just give it a minute.
But those cultural differences weren't often talked about when Andrea signed up to the Homes for Ukraine scheme. She lives in a diverse part of Birmingham. After a week of staying there, her guest told her there were too many Muslims in the area.
We were quite shocked at how difficult she found different cultures.
She felt there were just too many Muslims.
Too many Muslims, too many people with different skin colours.
Her guest's son was enrolled into the local school, where the majority of children happened to be black and Asian.
and then to just have her complain about the demographic of the school and going, well, he can't be safe there. There's not enough white kids, essentially. The majority of my neighbours are Muslims. A lot of them are Kashmiris or Pakistanis, Indians, and they're wonderful people. And you just felt if you just would sort of give them the time, perhaps we'd come to the same conclusion.
They both agreed to end the placement. Britain is, of course, far more ethnically and religiously diverse than UK.
So yeah, guys, as you can tell, this story is just the lady sharing her experiences on being a host for refugees, and she's basically elaborating how the Ukrainian, I believe she's referring to the woman and her son, I don't know about the extended family, but how they were not really happy about the area to the point they had to move out. I mean, I don't know if they chose to move out, but they're saying they came to an agreement that it was not the right place for her to live because she didn't want her kids to be in a school where there were hardly any white skinned children, and she felt her kids were not safe in the school. And now, guys, you know me, like, things like this, yeah, like, I don't even want to get into it. Like, people have already said, like, I've already gave my 2 cents on it, but you're fleeing from a war zone, right? You come to a country where you're safe, and now you're looking at people's complexions, people's skin tones, people's colors, and you're saying, yeah, no, absolutely not. Like, we already saw that, you know, they don't have a lot of love for black people in Ukraine. We saw when people were fleeing how the black people were being treated, or the ethnic minorities were being treated. But for you to leave your country, come to another country and come and treat people like that as well, as a refugee, absolutely not. I just don't, yeah. I don't want to generalize, but it's a very common experience and it's a very common thing. The racism is just very bad over there, that side. And yeah, you're going to have to integrate. I'm sorry, but yeah, the same way you're adjusting, learning the language, learning the pattern, the weather, same way you got to learn the people, baby, because yeah, it's not going to change anytime soon. We're not going anywhere. This is how we live in the UK. And we, like, you know, there's harmony. We understand each other now. And, you know, there's cities that are more representative than others. So do your research and, you know, see what works for you if you have the luxury for that option. But yeah, we'll leave that one at that. And guys, I don't even want to make this one a topic. This is just going to be a yes or no question. Should MPs charged with sexual offence be allowed in the House of Commons? Obviously not. Like, we're not even going to spend time discussing that, because why is that even a question? And we know who these MPs are, you know, and if they're still in the House of Commons, then yeah, they don't need to be there. They don't deserve to be there. They've shown themselves that they're not capable of being civilized citizens. Okay, they cannot be, yeah, like, it's like asking, should somebody whose DBS shows criminal records should be working in the healthcare sector or working with children? It's, yeah, it makes no sense. If we can, like, the whole point is that if they are in the House of Commons, there are still people there who could fall into a position of being a victim to them, because other than the other MPs who are there, there's also other people who work alongside these MPs. There are the people who work behind the scenes who don't necessarily know or acknowledge, but there are people there who also need to feel safe in their workplace. So absolutely not. It's just as simple as that. But yeah, no, honestly, I can't even believe that's a question. It shouldn't be a question. Anyway, on a brighter note, I was just following up on a discussion. I don't know if any of you guys can remember this, but obviously due to lockdown and due to how our lives drastically changed over those 2 years, 3 years, I would say now, a lot of people are working from home, yes, obviously, and the 4 workdays was being also explored, how we could change from a 5 working days, like Monday to Friday, to 4 working day period. And a lot of countries have already implemented this, like Belgium. People were given the option. I'm not going to generalize, I don't really know, but from what I've read and from what I've heard, there are people who have been given the option to choose to do the 4 work days. That works perfectly for them. And as this was happening alongside other European countries, a case study was obviously being done, and results come back. They show that people work more efficiently on 4 working days. Surprise, surprise, we are human. We cannot, be overworked. If you're overworked, you're not going to perform your best. It's very obvious. And also, I mean, the weekend is not really 3 days like we've been taught. Like, because Friday, you're either still at work or still at school. By the time you come home, you don't really have the time to do anything. And if you have weekend plans to travel, you're spending that Friday traveling, getting there, and just being tired and sort of not enjoying the rest of that day. So you really just get the Saturday to do whatever activity you're supposed to be doing. And then the Sunday, you have to mentally prepare yourself to go back to school or to work or whatever commitment you have to do. So yeah, I'm all for 4 working days. I really hope that we can see more of that in the UK. I mean, a lot of people are not working in, what do you call it again? A lot of people don't necessarily do the traditional 9 to 5, Monday to Friday jobs nowadays anyway. Like, a lot of people that I know, that is not how their week goes. A lot of people work for 4 days, depending on what kind of job they're in. But yeah, and with that, doesn't mean that people get paid less. The pay, the hours, they obviously still remain the same according to this potential new way of life for many, many countries in the Western world. I don't know if the UK is going to be a part of it. I hope so. I think we are a part of it, kind of, in so many ways, but it should become the standard. It should become the norm. Oh, guys, please don't forget to share, like, comment, subscribe, and get involved in the discussion as it's happening. That's literally my favorite line. It lives in my head rent-free now. But yeah, please do share the live. Even when you're in the live right now, share it with your friend who you feel like, they're sitting at home having a cup of tea. Let them tune in. And guys, I got into some really, really interesting conversations this week about work. And a lot of people are saying, I remember talking to a friend and she was like, I'm required to have this certain work experience before I can get into this job. And that job that she wants to get into is not, it could be the potential work experience that she needs to move on to another job. So let me just say, for instance, like, you want to work in a school environment and you're volunteering at a school, and the school won't hire you because you need more work experience to work in schools, and no other schools are going to hire you either. And I'm not talking about teachers, I'm talking about assistant teachers, I'm talking about those other roles that we don't necessarily talk about or think about when we think about the education sector. And I'm like, how is the person going to have experience working in schools if the jobs are not willing to give them the work experience? It's like, it's a double-edged sword, really. Like, you can either give the person the opportunity to gain that work experience and work for you and, hopefully stay with you as well. And in the future, it will be easier for them to get jobs, because at the end of the day, you're helping somebody get a job and they're also staying in that environment to work for you. So it's a win-win. So I don't understand why it's so hard these days, why companies are not willing to give people that foot in the door. It's always that initial step to just get your foot in the door, whatever you want to do, like whether it's, education, healthcare. Obviously, there's some things you need a degree for, like you get the degree, then you get the experience. But there's so many jobs where it's experience-based and it's skill set based, and a lot of that skill set can be acquired in these work environments. So take a bet on yourself, guys. Don't feel limited to just take a chance on yourself and go out there and just be like, you know what, knock at that office, write the letter, write the email, pop in, and say, this is me, this is what I have to offer. I need the work experience. I might not get the salary that other staff are getting right now, or go as a volunteer. Do you know what I mean? Go as a volunteer. I mean, if you have the luxury to do that anyway, But especially if you're thinking of building a career in a certain sector or certain environment, just, yeah, we all do this. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody in year 10 at some point in this UK did work experience. I remember mine was Costa Coffee, and I was never gonna work in Costa Coffee. Like, I was just, the work experience I wanted to do, which was media related, was very rare, so I just settled for what was there. But you know, eventually down the line, I did find that work experience for myself, and it's paying off for me. It's starting to pay off for me. So guys, take a chance on yourself, and just, yeah, whatever it is that you want to do, there is somebody out there doing it. There is small companies doing it in, you know, in small scales. It's not always the big companies. Don't think, oh my gosh, how am I going to approach John Lewis, or how am I going to approach I don't know, whatever you're thinking. Think about the small shop, the one down the road. Think about the independent companies. Think about there's so many small business owners these days as well. Social media, guys. If you see a business in your local city, you're like, oh, they're doing, you know, healthcare, beauty products. I'm into this. I'm into all this natural herbs, and you know, message them, send them a message, tell them how you can be of value to their business, and you know, how you can contribute to them as well. And don't overlook your skill sets, because as somebody who manages your own life, you're managing your finances, you're managing your, maybe your family, your household, your, you know, all these things. Add them to your CV, build your CV, guys. Like, even if it's just 1 week, it doesn't even have to be that long. You don't have to spend 5 months in one place. You don't have to spend 2 years in one place to gain experience. You just need a week, 2 weeks, you know. But yeah, comment section is saying, write your skills regardless of your degree and education. Yes, write them down. A lot of us attain skill sets through just experiencing life. Write those skill sets down. They are going to pay off for you. A lot of people have personal experience for a job, but not the education and work experience, which is such a shame, honestly. And it's really hard for them. I get it. Like, I remember watching, it's being put in a lot of TV shows and series, actually, because it's representative of the population and how people live. There's people who will be in a job place, for example, I'll go back to schools. People who work in schools for 20 years, they don't have the degree, they don't have the education, but they have the experience. But they can't move up in the job role because they don't have the equivalent of the education that they need. For the junior teachers who are coming out of university and doing a job, and they're learning from them and their experience, they're having to train these junior teachers now how to do their job, because they've been there, they've done that, and they know how to work with kids, because it's more than just a degree now. Because it gets to a point where, yep, your degree has got you through the door, but can you do the rest now? So, you know, yeah, take bets on yourself, guys. This is Motivation Thursday. Like, let's get into February motivated and just feeling good about ourselves, and take a chance on yourself as well. So let's do that, guys. And please do tell me if you have any success doing this, and I'm sure you will. Do share your experiences with me. I would really love to hear that, because I really, really want more people to take bets and chances on themselves, because this is how you move up in life. This is how you do what you want and what you love, because you could be stuck in a job doing something for 20 years and you're not happy there because you're too scared to do what you want or what you love, because you feel like, oh, how am I going to do it? Where will I do it? Get on social media, message that person and say, I love what you do. Can I get involved? You might get 10 no's, but you might get that one yes eventually. So yeah, let's do it. Let's chase our dreams. Speaking of improving our lives and doing better for our community and society, Rishi Sunak has spoken, and I told you guys we're gonna keep what's the word? We're gonna keep him accountable. We're gonna hold him accountable to his actions, what he says he's gonna do, whether he's doing it. And this is something that has been implemented and put in place. Apparently, there has been an ongoing trial for it already. So it's being implemented in the whole country now. So his words, "I promise to take action to make our streets safer for families across the UK. That's why today we're rolling out new police tactics and looking at bringing in new laws to stamp out serious organized crime, ridding our streets of violent gang members." And so there was a trip to Manchester just to, and sorry guys, there was a trip taken to Manchester by one of the MPs just to roll out this new initiative, and it's called Clear, Hold and Build. So if you guys start seeing this around, Clear, Hold and Build, you know how you see in London, see it, say it, sort it thing? Yeah, it's kind of that. You know, us British, we love a little triplet to just make things more, to emphasize on things, you know. But yeah, Clear, Hold, Bold. So it's targeting all UK cities, organized crime. I'm not quite sure how they're doing it. I haven't really seen the how it's being done, but it's being done. So we trust the words of the people to make our streets safer, to target organized crime, because yeah, there's a whole lot of it. People think, you know, they've been getting away with it for years on end, but yeah, it's being targeted. So we'll see if that's gonna produce the results they're promising it's gonna produce. I mean, at the moment we don't even really trust the police, and there was a whole in the House of Commons to yesterday, when they, you know, how they have when they meet on Wednesdays, they were talking about how they're gonna tighten up on the rules when it comes to who gets to go into the police force, and you know, the process is going to be made a lot more tighter now. They're not just going to let anybody in, and yeah, we'll see how that goes as well. So we shall see. But guys, because there was obviously the delay at the beginning, I'm not sure how much longer the live will roll for. We're good? Yeah? Okay. Do you guys have any questions for me, by the way? Do you have any questions? I would really love to take questions. Guys, I've seen something else that I didn't want to necessarily make part of the program today, but it's just one of those things where you see it and it's just like, how this is one of the things that we didn't force. I mean, maybe some people foresaw and they fought against it, but I don't know if you guys have been following the case of there's a whole lot of obesity talk. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, about just how obviously obesity has been a big problem in the Western world, and it's bad now because there are people who are fighting and saying that obese people are being discriminated against. And I know what it means. Like in school, kids will get bullied for being fat or being big, and obviously that's not right. Like, nobody should be bullied, or nobody should be made to feel bad about their physical appearance. But the concern still remains the same. Obesity is still a problem. It affects your health. It affects you physically, mentally, emotionally. And there's a guy who started doing YouTube videos over 7 years ago, and he just started as a middle-sized man who didn't, you know, he was just, yeah, your average body weight, and he was doing what do you call them, mukbangs? I can never say the word mukbangs. It just never sounds right when I try to say it. But yeah, and he's gained so much weight. The guy is literally breathing through he's got like a whole thing on his face. I don't want to call it a ventilator, but it sort of has that similar job. And this guy is literally fighting for his health, but he's eating his life away, quite literally eating his life away. And there are people supporting him doing this. Like, people are rooting for him and trying to count down the days to like how long he's gonna live or how big he's gonna get. And the guy has genuinely gained doubled, quadrupled in weight over the past 7 years. It's unrecognizable. And I didn't even realize this was a thing. I didn't even know until I started seeing it in the news over the past week that this was happening. And I'm just like, it's such a shame. And there was a similar case in the UK where parents are being charged for child abuse because they allowed their child to get overweight as well. I don't know if you've seen that one as well. And it's just like, it's one of those things you're like, how is this even a problem in society? But obviously it's a problem because of the food we eat. That's a whole nother story. The kind of food we eat is so hard to eat healthy when everything put before us, even the healthy stuff now, it's not really that healthy when it has all these chemicals in it and has all these toxins that are not really good for us. So even when you want to be the healthy person, you just end up not being healthy. And how long do fruits last in your fridge, guys? Because I buy fruits and they don't last me that long. I mean, we're trying to be efficient here. We're trying to get through this cost of living crisis, and being healthy is costly. How is being healthy cost way more than eating rubbish and junk, keeping rubbish in your freezer? I mean, it makes no sense, does it? Like, it's like you're telling us to be more healthy, but all the healthy food is expensive and all the cheap food is way more accessible, and it lasts longer. It's probably more, and people do better that way. But yeah, no, that's another topic I want to expand on. Honestly, the food we eat and stuff like that. It's one of those things that we need to spend more time talking about this actually. And it's a little bit like the fast fashion conversation that's going on as well at the moment. Are we going to stop wearing fast fashion clothes because of what we see going on in the factories, like with brands like Shein? And you know what I mean, like it's hard. Let me just read this quickly before we go. We don't have much longer. Exactly, a lot of people need to be washing their fruits, veg correctly. Just water isn't enough to remove those chemicals. Gosh, how do I need to use soap on my fruits now? Like, what do I need to do to my fruits to make sure that they're healthy? Oh my gosh, Susanna, please tell me, because guys, yeah, I'm gonna go do some research now, because after seeing that, it's really made me think. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I did eat McDonald's yesterday, but I'm still thinking about it. I'm still thinking about being healthy, okay? It was just a convenience thing. Like I said, cheap and convenient. That's the problem. But anyway, guys, please be sure to share, like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm really looking forward to starting a new month with you guys. And yeah, have a lovely rest of the night.